Well, live from Catamount Jaxe here, just across from the Western Carolina campus. Welcome you into Catamount Football Weekly, presented by Stanberry Insurance. Again, live on location right here at Catamount Jaxe in the Social House. Make sure you stop by here next time you come by to Cullowhee, which will be this weekend for Family Weekend. Looking forward to that. Catamount's back in action, back-to-back home games. Hope we'll have you here in the Cullowhee Valley this weekend. From the Catamount Sports Network, I'm Daniel Hooker, joined by the coach, Kerwin Bell. Again, it's brought to you by Stanberry Insurance. 4 locations to serve you: Silva, Waynesville, Highlands, and, of course, Clyde. Visit them online, stanberry-ins.com. Proud presenter of Catamount Football Weekly and a proud sponsor of Catamount Athletics for 45 years. Let them give you a quote on anything that you would like covered insurance-wise. Stanberry Insurance, proud supporter of Catamount Athletics. Again, Daniel Hooker alongside Kerwin Bell and coaches. We talk about being here once again at Catamount Jaxe. Always good to sit and talk some Catamount football. Last weekend, again, we talked after the game, you're getting the effort that you're looking for, that you didn't think you got maybe in the second half of the opener against Gardner-Webb. But as you put it, again, kind of a work in progress. You still kind of feel that way after going back and being able to digest the film from this past weekend?
Well, I just think, we played extremely hard the whole game and stayed mentally into it. No negativity over there. We knew it was going to be a tough game like it was the year before at Elon. We was able to pull that one out. We got to find that confidence that comes with success, and we got to get some success around here. So, but I was really positive to our team because I thought they played extremely hard. We didn't make some plays in crucial situations during that game to help us win. But listen, this is really our season now. It starts now. If you really look at it, we'd love to win 2 or 3 of those games, and we should have won one for sure. I mean, Elon was going to be a toss-up right now without our quarterback. But, with him back now, listen, it's like preseason. I told him we're 0-3 in preseason. There are a lot of good football teams in the NFL 0-3. But we figured, I think we got better in these last 3 weeks. It's teams we wanted to win, but this ain't why we come to put in all those hours since January. We come here to win a daggone SoCon championship. So there's no more times for us. We got to figure out what all we did right and what all we got to improve on. I think we have made some big improvements these 3 games. And our starting quarterbacks here, we're ready to go. We're going to put a great weekend to practice and practice in. And we're going to go put everything we got on the line because we know this is the start of our true season. It's a conference game, and we got to go play our best game of the year. Yeah,
don't forget you can drop us a note here. A lot of people dropping in comments already. Eddie Wells, Jacob Hanna. Do say hello to the Gate City down in Greensboro, Denise Turner, and, of course, William Hamby. He's been sitting here since about 3 o'clock, I think, waiting for this show to start. Loves to get involved and love to have him involved in our show here. Appreciate everybody. Again, drop us a note here if you have any questions for Coach. Obviously, I want to bring up something off the top here. We know that our quarterback, Bennett Judy, left the game the other day. Any update on Bennett? I know he didn't see him anything visibly when he came out of the ball game, but come to find out after the fact that he was dealing with something with his a head injury. But any update on Bennett?
No, he got hit. Yeah, the play he got hit on didn't seem that bad, but I think it'd come a little bit earlier. He had a concussion, and so he did the protocol over on the sideline, and we couldn't put him back in. Had a pretty good concussion, so. Went with Isaac, and, I thought Isaac handled himself really well and gave us a chance there to win this thing late in the game. And we had a couple crucial mistakes, offensively where we didn't finish a couple drives, and which kept us from being able to really get some more points to separate from them guys. When we were up 28-23, I think it was, Hook, we had a chance to add to that, and we didn't get it done. And, we're not finishing some games right now, but – I think Tigers will add a lot to our football team. It's tough having him out. He brings a lot of confidence to this football team. Like I told the team, though, we got to play better as a team. He can't do it himself. He's not that kind of person, but he can flat out help us win some games. And I think him coming back and our defense, I think, starting to get better and better, starting to trust each other and starting to play extremely hard throughout the game. So I'm still doubling down, man. I like I told him, man, we can't mess around anymore, though. This season started today, which was yesterday. We were talking to him on Sunday, and saying, hey, this is the day we got to start because, conference with Sanford, and we got to get off to a good start, and we got to win this game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We've had 3 games, and now let's go just like the NFL. Start the season, regular season, and let's go put together 9 straight weeks of really good football.
You kind of talked about it going in that all the goals still in front of you.
Yeah.
The conference championship, which would lead to the playoffs altogether, still out there. Despite obviously nobody wants to be 0-3. Would love to be 3-0 and have a big win over an FBS team. But it is what it is. We are who we are, is what you've said multiple times. So again, looking at that, you go into the year, you have one quarterback that's got a little bit of experience. Obviously, Tiger 4 games last year, 3-1 as a starter. 7 or 8 games total in his career. But now you've got 3 quarterbacks that have some real game experience. Has to make you feel better, knowing that in the back of your mind that you've got guys, because like you've said, every year you've needed more than one quarterback to be able to get through a season.
Yeah, I think that situation is really better than it's been, and even though we went through some tough times getting to there. But I really like the way Bennett played, ran our offense. I think there's a world of potential for Isaac. I think he's got so much potential in his body, the way he can move around and the way he throws the football. He's inexperienced, though, and we're asking a lot of him. But I thought both of them handled themselves really well. I think we've been able to play 7, 8 offensive linemen here the first 3 weeks. And so now we've got – and all of them were basically new guys, hadn't played a lot of football. So now those all 8 guys have got some really valuable experience in these 3 games. And so I feel – going into the season, you were so unsure about some different situations. Now I know sort of what we got, where we're at, and these guys have gained now some experience. Tiger's coming back, and now we need to surround him with some really good play by our wide receivers, by our linemen, which I think we've been able to improve in that area the last 3 weeks. And then defensively, we just got to be more consistent, and I see us getting there. Listen, we had eight big plays the first game. Explosive plays. I think we had 6 the Wake Forest game, and last week we're down to 2 or 3. We got to get it down to 1, or less than that. So they're getting better. They're trusting each other. They're playing hard, and we can make a run, man. This is our season now. We gotta be focused. We gotta take all the things we learned these 3 weeks, all the things that we've been trying to correct these guys. They got to now take it, and we got to put it all in this one game and make sure we're playing the best football we've played all year this Saturday.
Well, keeping it on the offensive side of the ball, Jerry, we'll jump to the defense here in a moment as we look at the offensive side. And, again, without really 3 of your top wide receivers coming into what you thought would have at the beginning of the year. Boyd, without Jalen Trezzato, and obviously A.J. Colombo. But like we talked about with those quarterbacks getting some extra time, and those linemen getting – you've had guys really step up and make plays. Who knew that James Tyre was going to be the guy that he's turned into this year? Or Tom Dutton doing it on special teams and in the wide receiver room. A guy like Malik Knight getting his opportunity. So we've seen more and more of these guys. We're getting deeper and deeper because we're having to play more different people early on.
Well, I've been in this thing pretty good a while, Hank, Hook, and I don't know if I've ever started a season like this, with just all the different things that you have to deal with, that we had to deal with. And but, man, we are getting better. Our guys want to do it. We've had these 3 games, and we would love to have been 2-1 at, probably, and could have been easily. But we're not. We're 0-3. That's who we are. But, by God, our season is still right in front of us. And I think we've made some improvements. I think we're getting some guys back. I think it's all come together. Even though it's been a trying time these last 2 months through the summer and things happening. But, listen, we're better off right now for that because we got a lot of guys some experience, bringing back some guys who have experience. And that offensive line is just going to continue to get better and better like they have. And I feel really good about where we can go with this thing once we get into league play. Now we got to go do it. It's not automatic. We just got to go get it done, and hopefully that'll happen Saturday.
Yeah, Coach. Let's talk about that defensive side of the football. Again, a veteran group you mentioned coming on that side of the ball. You mentioned the big plays reduced a little bit this past week. That's a good thing to see. Talk about what they're working on. What is that defense working on? Again, up front, you're bigger, stronger, faster. You got a lot of experience there. But how do you get that down to the 1 or none on the big explosive plays?
Well, look, one thing we got to do is our older guys. I've challenged them already. Challenged them a couple weeks ago. Challenged them Sunday in the meetings. Listen, we can't let them play average. They got to play better. Some of them guys have been around here a long time. A couple of them didn't have great camps. They got hurt, so I don't know if they're full speed, and ready to go. But we got to get them now after 3 games. They've got all the rust knocked off. They got to go play at the high level. Them guys who are 4th and 5th year guys, they got to lead the way and show our young guys who've just got here, or guys who are freshmen, or guys who are sophomores who haven't played a lot of downs. They got to be the guys that show them the way and how to get it done. And so I'm demanding that from them. It's time for them to step up, and time for him to start playing at a high level and take our guys with them. And let's make sure we're a team that makes people earn. That's all I want to see. I want to see a defense that makes you earn every yard you get. If you get points, by God, you had to have 8 to 10 plays to go get it, because I don't think they could do that against our defense in this conference that we're about to start schedule. So that's what I'm looking to do. That's what we're striving for our defense to be, that kind of defense where it takes 8, 10, 12 plays to go score. And if they do that, fine. They've earned that. But we got to make sure they earn it, and they don't give up a lot of, we don't give up a lot of cheap, easy touchdowns.
Yeah, we'll look at some of the highlights here in a second. One of the guys we definitely will see a lot of on that defense was Jordan Thompson, what he was able to come in and do for you. And he's been a catalyst there in the middle. What do you tell me go and roll that first half here? Let's talk about some of the first half highlights here. And, again, Kerwin Bell taking the football and giving it in the second half. You're not taking the ball anymore. Jeff Berger told me you would never let the defense on the field first, but all of a sudden – I don't know if it's your bellowing or what, Coach, but now you're giving them the ball. And, again, you thought early they took a couple of big shots here down the field, trying to open things up. Were you expecting perhaps them to do that with the young quarterback?
Yeah, they play him. He's a redshirt freshman, so what they do with him a lot is they roll him, like you say, and he has a 1 or 2 man read, and he throws it. They take big shots down the field. They've shown that in the 3 games. We knew that, but this is just a guy not playing his area. He's got the deepest guy. As you see, he's worried about the guy in front of him. He's got the deepest guy. It's very simple. You got to cover that. And those are things that we've got to get better at, especially our veterans. They cannot let that happen.
So, again, you're going to get the football here trailing 7-0 at home. And Bennett Judy going to be running the offense here, getting the start for you. And, again, it looked like we tried to do some things with him, trying to get the ball, again, quickly out of his hand, get it to the receivers, get it to the playmakers downfield once again.
Yeah, I thought our quick game was really good, and Bennett does a really good job with that. These intermediate passes, I think he does a really good job. We just don't have that explosive plays that we're used to getting, right? We're just not hitting those big-time plays, and so we got to get going in that area. I think as our line gets better, we got more protection. We can throw the football down the field. Tiger's really accurate on deep throws. So I think all of that's going to keep us, get us a chance to have more explosive plays. But Pat's a hard runner. We come back here, and he drops that one in the flat, but Pat's don't give you everything he's got, man. He's a tough customer running the football. Yeah, here he is again on a outside zone play.
And seeing him a little more here, because we did see Branson Adams go out with an early injury, and we'll hope to get him back as soon as we can. But, again, just the short passing game. Last week, Rylan Wells said he had a screen for just about everybody on the field. We had a lot of short passes in this one as well.
Yeah, and, they did a good job of tackling. Plays we thought we was going to get 4 and 5 and 6 yards, we only got 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Some of us, our receivers, are circling and running around backwards. They got to get north-south, and we're going to work on that a lot. We've had around here guys who really are good after the catch. We don't quite have that explosive right now with some guys out, but we got to get better at it with the guys we got playing right now.
Yeah, saw a couple looks there. James Tyre, that little broken-off route.
Yeah, James,
make
good
catch
play
there.
Yep. Great play by him, great route. Got open for the touchdown.
I see, if you didn't see the 16 on his chest, you might think that was Zero Colombo out there making some of these plays.
Yeah.
Those two look very similar and almost cut from the same cloth. But here you go defensively now, a tie ball game. They're starting to get after it a little bit, and they're, again, taking the deep shots here against your secondary. But I really thought the up front played well here early on and forced the punt here.
Yeah, we were making it uncomfortable for him, and like I say, he's a 1-2 read guy. They make it pretty simple for him. And they weren't connecting on anything big. I thought our defense played extremely well this first half here.
Again, there's another example of a play that could possibly turn into an explosive play, a good play, a great play, could have been explosive. But, again, very good pursuit towards the football.
One thing, I think that made a little difference in the game was the physicalness of our football team. I thought they probably were a little bit more physical than us as far as making tackles, and making sure we didn't get extra yards on plays. I thought they were the better team in that area, and that's something, again, we worked on. We don't want to be that team. I think one of our, Hook, one of our keys in top 5 to winning football games, one is to be the most physical football team on Saturday. If you want to win a lot of games, you got to be a physical football team. And I thought they might have got us in that area a little bit just with their tackling and the way they kept us from getting, some short yardage, really first downs that we had. They kept us from being able to move the ball because of how physical they were tackling the football.
There's a good job of getting off the field on a third down on a little misdirection play, a little counter up the middle, but and able to play it. And again, after the one miscue last week where he caught the ball almost inside the 5-yard line, he thought he did a really good job fielding punts for you in this ball game. Added about 23 yards in punt returns. But another example, and there's Bennett Judy trying to make a block downfield. And I don't like to see your quarterback trying to do that, but you love the effort you're getting.
Yeah, good first down, move the pocket, trying to make sure that we help our young line by moving the pocket a little bit. It's a great reverse call by Ryland.
Yeah.
Gets us
even fooled the camera guy.
Yeah, a lot of yardage there on that play. Come back again, outside zone to our receiver. Here's where we just got to be a little bit tougher for our blocking out on the perimeter. We got to be more physical out there. And we got to be – I love Dom, man. Dominique is a physical player. You don't think he would be because he's a former track guy, but he will run through it now. He had a great kickoff return. And he does a really good job of running with the football.
Stephen Brantley had an outstanding job punting the football, handling double duties, and again had a career long, the second longest in the NCAA FCS and the third longest in all of Division I football, that 76-yarder. Their punter actually got one of the national honors for special teams, ironically enough. But again, defense making it tough downfield, and they're just making some plays. And again, defense able to step up there and knock this ball. How about Gino Junius? Might have been beaten on the play, but he never gave up.
Yeah, perfect technique, man. When you get beat like that, just play the hands. When you see the hands on the ball, rip it out, and he did a really good job there.
Here's an example of one of the punts by the guy that got special teams player of the week nationally, but keeping the football, trying to go with a little read option. You got Kamari Reed back in the backfield here. Just still 7-7 ball game. Anybody's ball game here. There you talk about the circling back and not getting north-south.
Yeah, just got to get downhill and be more physical football players, Here they hit us right at the snap, but you hope we can break that and get a first down. There was 3 or 4 times where they tackled us. We thought we had a chance to get the first down, and we were short and had to punt the football.
Yeah, Brody Carroll, their linebacker, very good. One of the top in the CAA. And then here's a little quick hitter up the seam with the tight end. We've seen that so many times when we had tight ends that can do that. A.J. Bellinger would run that same route that we've hit up the middle at times, and trying to get the run game going. And this Elon on this drive looks more like they did in their scoring drive beginning of the half.
Yeah, we got cracked there. The corners got to support that and didn't get up to make that tackle. And here, this cannot happen. We have him in a vice, really. It should be double coverage, but we let him get behind us. You got to make sure you take away the deepest route. And we don't get our depth with our drops, and the guy just runs by us. That cannot happen. There's 2 veteran guys. We got to make sure, again, they can't let that happen.
And he talked about that when you have 2 deep, nobody can get beat deep, but obviously we did on that play, unfortunately. And now we're going to get great field. We had outstanding field position much of this first half.
Yeah, I thought the first half we really played field position good. I thought Steven gave us a chance to have field position with his punting. Second half, there was a crucial time there in the fourth quarter. We got backed up 2 or 3 times inside the 10, and that was tough on us.
I think that might have been the play where Dom was almost undressed on the near sideline, and this time they go and try to go to him again, but literally a holding call that did not get whistled. You could see the jersey pulled, a big jersey tug, but either way, got to punt the football here, and Elon's going to get it back 14-7. Elon with the football still early in this second quarter.
Yeah, this is a play that hurt us a little bit. We knew going in they were going to run the speed option. They run it against everybody they've played. Quarterback's really athletic. He does a good job. It gives them numbers, really, when they're running that option play, and we didn't do as good a job as we should have trying to stop it.
And second down at 2, and there's a holding call that drops him back here. And still taking shots. Might have been there a tad early, but good job by Sykes to knock that one away.
Yeah, I thought he was going for the ball. He ran through him, so they didn't get a call there. So Hassan with a good play there. But, again, the kid was really good getting on the move and giving himself a chance, and he made some good throws. But, again, I thought our defense really played well. I thought we took away their run game, and I thought for the most part we played it really well. I don't know – it's unbelievable. They grabbing our guys' jerseys, and yet our guys running right with him, and they call a penalty.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So a tough break there. And then there's Jordan Thompson. And I'd like to see him get the quarterback on the ground there. We talked about that when you get a quarterback in trouble, try to get him down to the ground, but they get outside. But then he comes back here and has a guy bounce off of him. And, again, he made 11 tackles on the day, but he had 2 right there. He could have had 13, as we see. But not, definitely not taking anything away from the effort that he gave.
Well, Blue's out and right now with a knee injury, so that him and Blue usually splits time.
Right.
He had to play a lot of snaps yesterday, because of that. So we got to find Hank Bodine. His son, Dad was a great player here. Hank is a freshman who's going to play a lot more at Mike Backer and help Jordan.
I mean, his dad was really great here. His uncle was great down the road at Clemson, an All-American down at Clemson as a walk-on. So then they go for 2 here, and I wondered why at this point of the ball game. And trying to throw it out there, but obviously we'll take it. It's 20-7. It kind of keeps that door a little ajar right now, and still a lot of football left to play. And now you're going to get the football back again in pretty good field position.
Well, we come out, they get a pass interference here, which helps us. They hit us a little bit early, and I thought this maybe the drive we put together pretty good. Still making some crucial. We talk about efficiency all the time, and that's. When we're good, man, you make the simple plays, and we're not making sometimes those simple plays. Now we got 11 new starters, but we get 3 games into this thing. We got to start getting better and better, and I think we have. And I think adding Tigers will really help. But I think the people around him has got better these last 3 games. Some of these young receivers are growing up. Trey Walker and them guys, and our linemen are getting better every week. So. To me, it's a work in progress, but, man, I think we're getting there, and I think we got a chance to, like I say, start this season and get off to a good start.
How about Markel Townsend? Talk about that running back room from Branson Adams to Kamari Reed to Markel Townsend, Patrick Boyd. They all run hard.
Yeah. Like you said, Branson got a little MCL, not anything serious. I think he's going to be okay for this week. So, but we got a lot of guys there. Markel and all them guys are ready to go play. And they all do a good job when they get in the game.
Of course, at this point, Isaac Lee's in the ball game, taking over mid-drive, and I thought he did an outstanding job, being there on the bench. And this is kind of like being a pinch hitter, coach, in baseball. One of the toughest things to do. You've been sitting there and watching, and now you got to grab your helmet and go into play, and trying to get up to speed with it. And how about this? Using his legs. Now, again, that's a little bit different than what Bennett's going to stand in there and make something happen in the pocket. Isaac's very elusive.
Yeah, Isaac's got he's one of the fastest guys on the field when he's out there. He's very fast.
And a good stiff arm.
Yeah. And did a really good job of getting us down here. Should have probably gave that ball to the running back. But he comes back, stands in the pocket, and Dominique does a really good job being physical and catching that football.
So now Tyre and Dominique Dutton, James Tyre and Dominique Dutton have your 2 receiving touchdowns. And just like that, you're back within a 1-score ball game. And Dom does a great job even being knocked down, falling down, but still makes the play. That's what's more impressive. You watch it, the more you watch it, the more impressive it got here. Final 3 minutes. I thought Brantley did a great job with 3 of the 6 kicks he had went for touchbacks, which was good to try to negate a really good return man. But, again, taking big shots downfield.
Yeah.
How about Gino Junius? Double coverage. That's what we had earlier. We couldn't come away with it, but we got it that time.
Well, we got to start. People want to challenge us. Man, the way you get them to not want to just throw it up down the field is you get interceptions. We got to start getting these balls intercepted and turn the ball over. I thought this was very crucial, though. Had the interception. Isaac does a great job of getting us down the field. We're going in to score, and he makes us, a freshman mistake, turns it over. They go down and get 3 points. That was a big turning point in the game. Would have loved to went down here and got points and, go into halftime, hopefully with the lead if we get a touchdown here.
Well, you're trying to do the what Gardner Webb did to us, the old 2-for-1.
Yeah. We have the ball the second half. I thought it was a little set up perfect for us. We're moving the football. We're getting down there ready to score before halftime. We're taking time. So let's don't give them time on offense. And we tried to run it down as much as we could here.
Again, trying to run it up the middle and, again, moving the pile. Good to see that offensive line getting better. And, again, they really had us in that East-West game. Did a good job of not letting us get the edge with some of these receivers.
Yeah, great throw by Isaac again. Hit James. Gets wide open.
Again, short yardage rushing. They were really good interior.
They are. They were good. They were good last year. It was hard to score touchdowns on them.
And they're in triple coverage. And, again, in the red zone, it's so tough. And Tyre's been a go-to guy, but it looks like he looks to Tyre the entire way.
Well, he has the underneath guy. He can make him go, but then he got off of him, and the guy fell back. And when you're in the zone coverage down there in the red zone, there ain't a lot of room, so you can't force balls to the back of the end zone.
Yeah, and, of course, here's where they get a couple of chunk plays in the run game, one in the throw game here, trying to get into scoring position. A kicker that's got a pretty good leg, but, again, just turning us around on the inside. I thought that Bo Simpson had him guarded well, and here's a good blitz off the edge by Jordan Thompson.
Yeah, this is the disappointing part of our defense this week was giving up this one. I mean, we made it too easy. Again, not getting any pressure and getting them a chance to get in field goal range here. And their kicker was really good.
Yeah, he
had a
was
strong
really
leg.
impressive. 3 field goals on the day, and this one a career-long 48-yarder that just had enough distance to get over the crossbar. And that'll end the first half. That'll send us into the halftime locker room. 23-14. Elon out in front. Catamounts will get the ball to start that second half. What was your message to the team there? Obviously a 10-point swing, going in for 7, give up the 3 instead. So what was the message when you walked in that locker room at halftime?
Well, to me, and we told them, defensively, our defense coaches knew exactly. We practiced everything. They ran everything we had practiced all week. The 2 run plays were the option play, right? Take that away and take away the quarterback, his running ability, and make him beat us throwing the football. We got to make plays on those deep throws. So that was one thing. And then offensively, we just had to be more consistent, more efficient, Don't drop balls, get first downs, catch the ball and get north-south, give us a chance to create first downs. So we felt good, going in, matching them at the line of scrimmage. But come out here in the second half, I thought we were ready, man. We had a great opening with that great kickoff. So we come out, and I said, hey, let's come out. Let's do what what I've asked you to do, and that is to play 4 quarters. We knew we was going to have to do that in this game. We had to do it last year. The same thing this year. We're going to have to play 4 quarters of football, and somebody's going to have to make a play for us to win this football game.
Yeah, we know we've had some trouble coming out of the locker room with some of our starts in third quarters, but we'll show you that third quarter in just a moment when we continue here live from Catamount Jaxe, just across from the Western Carolina campus. Hope you'll stop in at the social house. Maybe come throw some axes. Alcohol and axes always go great together. Come on down and throw those here at Catamount Jaxe. Such a good time here. Such a good time to have with friends and family. Come on in to Catamount Jaxe. Of course, you're watching Catamount Football Weekly, presented by Stanberry Insurance. We'll go to the second half with the head coach, Kerwin Bell. When we continue after this, you're watching Catamount Football Weekly.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this
You
week?
gonna play this week? You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
And welcome to the Ingalls Game of the Week as the War Horses square off against the rival.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby!
Ingalls. We're with you every step of the way.
Back live at Catamount Jaxe. So glad to have you tuned in here at Catamount Football Weekly. If you're watching on Facebook Live or on the Catamount Athletics YouTube channel, glad to have you tuned in from the Catamount Sports Network. I'm Daniel Hooker. He's the head coach, Kerwin Bell. Again, if you have any questions, drop them in here in the comments. We'd love to hear from you where you're tuned in from. We've heard some folks from down in Southwest Florida. What is that? That's down way down south from where you're at, though. We're talking Naples, Estero, that kind of area down south. And we've heard again from Colorado Springs. David Warshawski. I'm sure I probably butchered that name, and I do apologize. I should have let Coach say it. That would have been fun. Say hello to the Sanez family tuned in, and obviously James Cosby, Jacob Hanna from just over the mountain, former Catamount, Eddie Wells, what he does for Western Carolina. I mentioned Denise Turner from down in the Gate City in Greensboro, and of course William Hamby. Dropping a few of the shouts here for you tonight. Drop us a note, let us know where you're tuned in from. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those in there. Of course, Catamount Jaxe here, just across from the Western Carolina campus. Hope you'll stop in here at the Social House next time you're in town to support the Catamounts, which comes up this weekend as Western Carolina opens up Southern Conference play against Samford, a team we ended conference play with a year ago. Ended 1 year, start the next year with the Samford Bulldogs. Hope you'll come on out for family weekend. Looking forward to having a great Saturday here in the Cullowhee Valley. And, of course, Catamount Football Weekly brought to you each and every week by Stanberry Insurance. 4 locations to serve you: Silva, Waynesville, Highlands, and, of course, Clyde, North Carolina. Online at stanberry-ins.com, a regional insurance company serving the Southeast, serving this area. Hope you'll give them an opportunity to give you a quote on anything you want protected: home, auto, business, life, you name it. Just let them give you an opportunity, give them an opportunity to get you a quote at Stanberry Insurance. They've been back in the Catamounts for 45 years. All right, Coach, you talked about having to get some consistency on offense, try to continue to play solid on defense, but we didn't really talk about special teams, and that's where we're going to start here. We're going to go ahead and roll the footage here because this will tell the story.
Run up for the Elon Phoenix.
They're
trying to get to 2-1. Catamounts trying for a first win on the
season.
season. The ball will be returned by Dutton, who has room on the left side. Only the kicker to beat. Dominic Dutton sees green turf ahead. And there he goes. And a jolt here in the mountains. So they'd only have it for about 12 seconds. Dutton, the run back.
True track guy for them, so you ain't not going to catch him. Great call by Coach Webb. Curry Webb, our special teams guy, sends it to the field with his speed. We're able to get to the other side of the field, and then he turned on the afterburners. And you're not going to catch him once he gets that speed going.
Yeah, and a great job by the 10 guys in front of him to make the blocks stay on the block, sustain those blocks to get downfield and not have a penalty to bring it back. But, again, quarterback scramble, some that has given us trouble. But again, nicely tracked down there by Jordan Thompson, I thought.
Yeah, I thought for the most part we held this kid in check. He'd run for a lot of yards prior games. We knew he was athletic, and we really worked on caging the pocket and making sure we tackle him once he gets out of the pocket and tries to run.
All right, so 23-21 after you kind of got momentum here, Coach. And how about that fielding? It looks like A.J. Colombo back there. I took a couple of hops. You always said 1 or 2 maybe, but anything beyond that, don't field it. And he does a nice job and able to keep that one from getting inside the 10-yard line. But now your offense going back to work and still trying to get that run game, and Patrick Boyd is that close to busting this.
Yeah, run hard, man. He ran through 3 or 4 tackles there. He's not a real big kid, but, boy, he is physical.
And in here, all of a sudden, the ball comes popping out. Look at James Tyre, spin to win, and he's off to the races as well. Might not be as fast as Dutton, but don't tell him that. He's going to take this one 62 yards for pay dirt. A little extra flair at the end of that as well. But how about that? Johnny on the spot, ball put on the carpet, and able to come up with it. And, hey, look what I found, Mom.
Well, Pat, he's been upset. He was upset yesterday about that fumble. They take pride down there. Coach Small's always on them about holding the ball with great pressure and great technique. But I told him he's the kind of back hook that he's run so hard that there'll be 3 or 4 or 5 guys hitting him because he won't go down. He has to make sure he protects that thing when that happens because they're coming in trying to strip it because he's just not a guy that don't go down very easily. So he understands that, and he'll make sure that won't happen again.
Yeah, and Elon getting to the edges here to start this drive, getting outside. Of course, you're up 28-23, looking to throw the ball here, and knocks it away at the last minute.
Get an interception, Bo. I told Bo, man, we got to start picking these. Get people throwing the ball. They won't throw the ball down there if they think you'll pick it off.
Yeah.
So we got to start turning these things into turnovers when we're back there.
So, again, back to the option on the ground. And I think this is where the defense really stiffens up and doesn't let them get much after this. Again, doing a great job. Jordan Thompson does an outstanding job because if he runs up there and leaves the space he's covering, he'll dump it over his head. But he does a nice job of making the quarterback commit to the run there.
Yeah, held him to 3 points, which was good. And then we come back and get a nice return by Markel. Does a really good job.
Even on the boundary side, short side of the field, he still had a good opportunity. And then they started getting a little bit of pressure and late, and that's, of course, the outstanding linebacker. We talked about him a little bit earlier. And then we get a hit here, and we're going to get a pass interference on that one. But I think the only reason it was because the quarterback got hit late and he delivered a dying quail downfield.
Yeah, almost made a big play there before he got rid of it. But then, got the interference, which moves them down the field. I like the way our defense, though, man. They kept playing hard and, not giving up 6. They were giving up 3 in some of those situations, but just making sure, you don't give up that touchdown.
And a nice job there on the counter trade. Again, they keep going to that play action. They hand it off every once in a while, and then the air game.
This is a couple situations. We had 2 3rd and longs, and we, give them back 4th and 1. That was a busted coverage. I mean, we just didn't. A couple of them said they didn't get the call, and it's older guys. So we got to, again, people was like, why did they get wide open? Well, that's just our guys not communicating and making sure everybody gets the same call.
And then down the sideline, trying another big play here in the short throw game. And, again, I thought we held their run game in check most of the day. They got a few here and there, but, again, get off the field on 3rd down, force them into another long field goal attempt, and I give the guy credit. He knocks it through, 29-28. They're back in front.
Yeah, I thought, here's where we sort of wasn't consistent enough on offense to win the football game, right? We had holding penalties. We dropped the ball. We didn't throw it accurately. We just didn't play. We're not as efficient as we need to be, to win these kind of football games. And so we got to get better at that. I think with our line getting better and all those things, I think you'll see us be a lot more efficient as we go through the season.
And nice catch and run here by Marcus Striggles out of the into the flat.
Yeah, Marcus has done a really good job for us. A good portal guy. Him and Dominique and Painter, all of them are good portal guys. We thought we got some really good guys out of the portal, and they're all producing for us. We got to have our older guys, get back healthy, go with these guys, and we feel like we'll be in really good shape at receiver.
Another pass interference call, and moving the ball a little bit off target. And standing in the pocket, and in here, almost an interception. Almost read that one, almost telegraphed it.
Yeah, you got to see your safeties and know the corner's rolling up on that. Come back here. We thought that might have been, but we come back here, we go for it, 4th and 10. And Isaac does a really good job. And James,
A.J. Colombo.
catch.
James Tyre. How about that? That's a Colombo-type catch on the 4th down.
That's a tough catch by James.
Yeah, Tyre contorts his body in the air. And
we had to set up. It's just not the timing's terrible on it. We got to be able to block and get up in there behind those linemen, and we could have scored there.
And how about Marcus Trout with his first career field goal for you?
Good, Marcus, man. Gave him a nice short one. I said, man, you got to hit this one. This is easy. And Marcus did a really good job of coming in and hitting that for us, getting us back up 31-29.
And they wanted pass interference on that one. I think that was just one they threw up there to see what they could get. Nothing doing. 2-point ball game still, and again, nobody on the same page there.
We're getting pressure still, on the quarterback and making him throw some misread, balls that are off target. Here's where we got caught with a couple, they did a good job of field position. We got I think, is this the personal foul on us? Yeah. Personal foul. This has backed us up a couple times here. I think made a difference there in the 4th quarter. We didn't have good field position to go down and score points.
And I thought they did a really good job talking about Elon with some open field tackling at times.
I know Isaac wish he could have had that one. We had Malik 3 or 4 yards down the field past the defender, and he just throws it out of bounds.
And here's where Brantley flips the field.
Yeah, great.
This one here.
No, this ain't the one.
This is one of them.
This is one of them.
Again, it's still, you're kicking out of your own end zone.
Yep. Does a good job with the hang time and make sure we're down to cover it.
And so now instead of getting it in positive yardage, they're still beyond midfield. But quarterback run, but how about the play in the backfield is going to bring it back for him?
Well, you try, Hook, when you get down there, man, we're trying to be aggressive to flip the field back, because if you just keep being conservative and punting the ball midfield, eventually they're going to score. A good offense is. So you're trying to flip the field as quick as you can, and that was what was disappointing. We didn't put together a good offensive drive when we were backed up here in the 4th quarter that would have flipped it. Now, Steven flipped it on his own with that long punt.
Yeah.
I think it was after this series we go. But
yeah, good job by Ken Moore on the deflection. Delayed quarterback run.
Again, we got the quarterback. We're taking care of him and all his great runs he had. We took care of that. Man, great play by our safety there.
How about JPL coming across?
Yeah, great job coming across and reading the quarterback's eyes, making a play. The only thing, he went out at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that's it. So this is where you get backed up, and now you're trying to come out of the shadows of your own goalpost.
Yeah, this is tough here, And Isaac, underthrows that ball a little bit, but he didn't turn it over. That was a good thing. We thought we could get out of here. We was trying to be aggressive. I didn't want to just run the ball and give them the possession, but Steven does his job on his own, man, with a bomb here. Well, how far did you say this was?
76 yards.
76 yards.
The bounce, the roll.
I was really worried up until that point, but after that I said, okay, we're now got the field flip back in our favor. Let's go play a good set of defense, you know. And we gave up a little bit too much yardage here on this series.
So a penalty on Western Carolina right here.
Right there, we got the face mask, which gave him 15 yards.
Again, that was a tall sweep that almost looked like a lateral. It almost looked like he threw it forward. But a bad snap kind of puts them back on third down and trying to get off the field here on 3rd and long. And, again, they find a big play over the middle.
Again, we just right there. We go man coverage, trying to put our guys against theirs, and they make a play. Busted coverage there on that. So,
and then
linebacker not going with him.
Run and play to the outside, and, again, not giving it up easily. Jordan Thompson forcing him out of bounds.
Here, man, Jordan would like to have that back. He tried to knock him down. He needs to make sure he wraps up. But the quarterback scores. They go for 2. Is that right? Yeah. So it makes it 37-31 with 5 minutes to go.
So looking for a 5-minute drive. He said he wanted a 4-minute and 53-second drive that ends in the end zone. And, again, looked like we're arm tackle away here, an arm or two away from being able to break big plays. Pat Boyd had a couple of them. Malik had a couple of them. Big-time hits coming across. Again, I thought that linebacker was extremely physical in the middle.
I thought we started this drive really good, man. We worked on this all through camp. Every week we work on it, 2-minute offense. And I thought we had a good rhythm here, run and pass, and hitting some positive plays. Another run for a first down. So we're starting to move. We've got plenty of time to go down there and score and win this football game.
Yeah, trying to let the playmakers make play in space. But, again, Elon did an outstanding job, I thought, with some of their open field tackle. And then
that's a tough one here. Yeah. Man, I'd like to see Isaac keep that ball. He has the option of keeping that ball running up inside. I think with his speed, he would have got a lot of yards there. But
tough throw there, throwing across his body. So 4th and 9, and they bring some pressure.
Man, we had guys wide open too. We just got pressured by our, by their defensive line.
So Elon fans thinking they've got this thing in the bag. Our defense has some other things coming. They're trying to use the timeouts, a 2-minute timeout, and everything else here.
Yeah, we had 3 timeouts. We kept, and I told our defense if we wanted to win this game, we had to not give up a first down there. And, man, they played extremely well. Gave us a chance again now with 1:30, which we work on this all the time, less than a minute, going down and scoring a touchdown. So we got plenty of time. I just didn't – our protection, I thought, broke down in this crucial situations here. And, Isaac, he's out there busting his butt, but he's also, inexperienced. But made a great throw there. Comes back here, man, just to the field. If you notice to the field, we got guys open. He sort of got caught looking into the boundary. And this is just one of those fluke things where they bobble the ball and the guy catches it off the reflection.
And so with that, off that bounce, it goes the way. Of course, Kerwin Bell's going to argue that call, obviously.
Well, we thought the guy who actually tipped the ball
was out of bounds.
Which would have made it a dead ball. And
right.
I said, did you check that? Or not just check the guy that caught the ball. We knew the guy caught the ball was in bounds. But what about the guy who actually tipped the ball? So he said he went back and asked the guy, and you got to live with that. So.
Well, a tough one there. Again, would love to see us have that opportunity to try to finish that drive, have that one fall incomplete. As you mentioned, had one guy maybe on the other side of the field, tried to force it over to Dom, and double coverage, one over the top, one underneath, and they end up coming away with that interception. But, again, Onifer Wilmoth asked the question about, looking at last year and this year, we've had some issues with finishing ball games, having leads in FCS and, of course, FBS games. What's been the message to the guys about trying to finish? I mean, I basically just preaching 4 quarters.
Yeah, it's just it's a mindset. It's when you got to understand, to me, and we preach it all the time, the game of football is about, momentum. And throughout a game, you're going to have the momentum, and great football teams grab that momentum, and it's hard to get it back from them. And because you don't do anything stupid to give that momentum back. You don't throw an interception. You don't fumble the ball. You don't give up a return. Our football team has been the kind of team, when we grab the momentum, sometimes we'll give up a kick return. All of a sudden they get that momentum back. We've got to understand, and we've been preaching this, you've got to hold on to that momentum and play good, sound football and make sure you don't give it back to them and make them earn it. If they do get it back, by God, they got to earn it. Same thing on defense. When you have that lead, you're talking about teams coming back, we got to make them earn it. if you're up 2 touchdowns, you make a team earn it, it's hard for them to come back.
Yep.
But you give them a couple easy plays here or there, it's easy to get back in a game. And you see it all throughout college football. I mean, people give up leads, so we're not any different than that. But I think for me and what I've committed to our guys and ask of our guys is our older guys got to play at a higher level. And that's just the truth. They've got to play at a higher level. We've got the talent to do it. We've got the experience to do it. Now, by God, we got the preseason out of the way. I'd love to win all 3 of them, but I don't care about what we're trying to do. Has nothing to do with those 3 games. So we got better with those 3 games. We're starting right now, and I'm going to put my name on it that we're going to be a good football team, and we're going to make a run in this conference and see where we're at. And I know our kids want to do it, but, again, we've got to be a more consistent football team as far as finishing games, and that is a great question. So that's something we work on, something we preach. I think a lot of it's confidence, Hook. I think you've got to do it on the field with that team for that year. And so let's start that this week with that confidence. Let's have a great win, be a confident football team, keep building, and as you do, you become a really good football team because I think the potential's there. We just got to have that confidence come along, and once we get that, I think we'll be where we want to be.
Well, Western Carolina's next opportunity to get that momentum-building victory. It's going to be a tough one against the Sanford Bulldogs roll to town. And Chris Hatcher, a good friend.
Hatch.
Yeah, you guys know each other pretty well, right? You cross paths a time or two. We'll talk about the Sanford Bulldogs. We'll get you ready for Family Weekend coming up. Talk about our football team meeting consistency. We want consistency from our fan base. Let's pack out E.J. Whitmire Stadium this weekend. Get your tickets online at catamountsports.com. Avoid the line, buy online. Get your parking, get here. This weekend, it's Family Weekend. We'll talk about the Bulldogs and Family Weekend on the other side of this timeout as you're watching Catamount Football Weekly. Sometimes in live TV and production, things just happen. That was a great night, fireworks night. We enjoyed the fireworks postgame. Coach didn't enjoy it because I was trying to interview you after the game. The fireworks, and, of course, it was an extravaganza right there. But, again, special thanks to our friends from Kiss Country, 99.9, Star 104.3, and Ingalls, who also sponsored last weekend's whiteout game here in Cullowhee. So now we've got Family Weekend. Do want to say hello, by the way, to Lane and Bradley, the film team. They're tuned in. Maybe my guys could get some help with that. Get the film guys, Lane and Bradley. Maybe we could get them on board, see what we could do there. But either way you look at it, Coach, Sanford Bulldogs coming to town. Family Weekend. Looking forward to it. 2:30 kick. 1:30 airtime on the Catamount Sports Network with Gary Ayers, the voice of the Catamounts, myself, along with the producer and host extraordinaire, Jeff Bryson. Looking forward to that this weekend. But obviously we know coming in, conference play, everything ramps up another level. They've dipped their toe into conference play already. We're 3 games in, have yet to taste conference play, but looking forward to that coming up. What have you seen out of Sanford? We had a question earlier about what are some of the concerns about coming in. I think, again, we got to talk about what we've talked about the first 4 weeks is a mobile quarterback who can do it with his legs. Again, one of the top quarterbacks in the league for Sanford and Quincy Crittenden. So what concerns you about Sanford, or what have you seen so far?
Well, the quarterback, he's their number one guy. He hurt us a lot down there last year. We had the big lead, and they got him on some good runs there, and he throws the ball well too. So a dual threat who we got to get after him. The one area I think a lot of our SoCons are, is having to rebuild as our offensive lines. Everybody comes in and takes these guys. So they're the same situation. They've had to replace a lot of their linemen. And that's the one area I thought this is what's going to happen, I believe, as we start this new season and this first game here out the chute. We got to start dominating the line of scrimmage hook. We are too talented, too veterans up there. Got too many players that can rotate. That's still be a key for us this week. Can we get after that quarterback and really put pressure on him with our defensive line? I think if we do that, we'll be in good shape.
You've seen a couple of these games that we're showing the highlights from. West Georgia, a tough home loss, and then, of course, a loss to the Citadel to open up conference play in the Battle of the Bulldogs. That was won by Maurice Drayton and former Catamount Gio Ricciardi. He's down there coaching with the Bulldogs, but they were able to get that one to get them off to a 1-0 start, talking about the Citadel. But you look at this defense, we saw a lot of defensive highlights and really getting after the quarterback. How do they do that? How are they working on things of trying to get to the quarterback? And obviously we know their quarterback's good. What are they doing defensively?
Well, Coach BC, man, he works them hard. He works them really hard. And the big thing for me, I think, is what I've sort of been trying to convey to them, Coach and Coach Odom, is that we're sort of in that situation throughout our whole team sometimes, is that we don't stay at that high level. If you notice the first 3 games on the Hook you've watched, our D-line gets some, even against Gardner-Webb early on.
Yeah.
We was getting after the quarterback. And as we get into the game, we start running down the middle of the offensive lineman and sort of playing defensive instead of getting after them. I want to see some hungry dogs this week, man. We're starting. This is the season. I said, okay, all that preseason crap's out of the way. I want to see you come off the dang football from the first quarter to the last quarter. And I think that's going to carry our defense. Because, listen, if you don't get pressure, it's hard to cover people.
Yeah.
If you don't get pressure, it's hard to stop a 4-yard gain in the run game. So we got to – and that's our strength as our D-line. By God, they got to start stepping up. They know they're good. Let's go show this conference how good we can be from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. And that's something I'm going to demand from them all week. And we got to have it from them to have a great game this Saturday.
Well, we talk about special teams a lot of times. We'll jump in here with that as well. That was one of the big turning points in the ball game last year. Defense and special teams right before halftime.
Yeah.
You get the pick 6, long return by Jordy Lowry, now taking his talents to Greenville, North Carolina. And then you had the blocked field goal and the return by an Alabama native, C.J. Williams, took that to the house, so that felt good. Good to have baby Curry Webb on the other side now, and instead of we did that to him last year, so he can come back and do something for us.
Yeah. I told him he owes them now. He's got to help us this time. Anyway, no, Coach Webb will be ready. He's excited, being over there, and still be exciting to see. But no, their special teams has always made a lot of plays for them, so we got to make sure that we're ready to go play really good sound football in that area. I thought we have the last couple weeks. I think we got better and better. I think our punting and field position, covering punts, and we've had a couple of kickoffs that we've let sort of spew out and get a big gain on. But, we've had a big return already for a touchdown with Dominique. So I'm excited about that part. I think Coach Webb's really bringing a lot of the experience and calling some good plays for us to be successful, because that still help us win these games.
And, of course, obviously we talked about trying to cage Quincy, because that's going to be something to do, because he is a very elusive quarterback. He had a lot of big runs against us in our ball game. Really almost single-handedly brought them back last year after we jumped all over them in that first half. Talk about your offense, Coach. You're looking to get your quarterback back this weekend and trying to get things going in the right direction offensively. You put up numbers again. We documented the numbers at Wake Forest game were really low in terms of total offense, because we're 300 to 400. It's if we don't get there, it's kind of a surprise the way we've been the last couple of years. But you got back to the 400-plus yard mark last week. You look at points; they've struggled scoring some points. So I think if you can outscore them, you have a good chance. But what are you looking at? Do you feel confident with Tiger back and the offense going from there?
Well, what he brings is confidence, man. Because he's done it. He did it 4 games. Probably before that, people were questioning him, sort of like Isaac and Bennett, right? But our team has seen, the majority of our team see him play the last 4 games and how well he played and the energy he brings and the confidence level he brings. I think that's going to be so important for our football team right now. We need that. But we got to protect him. We got to take care of him. We got to be balanced. We got to run the football. We got to keep getting better and better with our run game to be a really dominant football team. But Yeah, he's been able to practice some with us. You know, we didn't want to. You know, you want to give Isaac and Bennett all those snaps in practice, getting ready for games. But there would be a series here or there in practice that we'd keep him live, keep him going. And so he's stayed active. He's been coaching his butt off, coaching the other quarterbacks. So he's mentally into it. And I told him, man, everybody else is now 3 games in. They're all beat up. He's ready. He should go out there and have a heyday, right? He should be fresh and ready to go. So we'll see. He's gonna have a great week of practice. Right now, Bennett's out with the concussion, so Isaac will be our number 2, and we'll make sure he has some reps too. But I feel really comfortable about all this coming together, and let's see what happens, man. I'm still pulling for our team. I know that they've got a chance to be really special, and it's been a tough 3 or 4 months, man, with all this stuff going on. But it's all coming together now, and I think we've got a chance to make a run. We got to gain confidence, and that comes from winning. So we got to find a way to win, and especially this week because the conference is a conference game, and we can't be hoping anymore. We got to go get it done, and I think we will do that.
I was joking with you at Media Day. You were standing there talking with Chris Hatcher, and I said you guys were probably debating the ins and outs of the fullback in an offense. You guys, again, like to run the spread and like to spread it out. But, again, ties to Valdosta. You guys both had some success there. How much do you communicate with Coach Hatcher? Obviously this week probably not a lot. But otherwise, how much do you and Coach Hatch stay in touch?
Not a lot. We, we see each other at the coaches convention thing and also at the SoCon deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got on me this year. I knew he would. First thing he said, why'd you make me stay 5 or 6 hours, you know?
Oh, that
about
was
8 or 9
ago.
hours.
Yeah.
Just a couple of years. He's still on that, you know. He had to stay silent. We didn't get back till 8 o'clock in the morning or something. But Curry was with him then.
Yeah.
And we were waiting this thing out here at our home, and so he said he kept asking Curry, you think we can text Kerwin and he'll just call the game? Curry said, no, they're winning. There ain't no way in hell Coach Bell's don't call this game. He said, you might as well get ready because he don't want to play. He's going to finish his game sometime, whenever it is.
For sure.
So,
and looking at that, Coach, again, looking for consistency from our fan base, just like we're looking at from our team. We had over 13,000 for that first game, a little over 10,000 this last game. Again, get your tickets online at CatamountSports.com.
Let's get back to 13 and 14.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want Hatch. Y'all don't know how bad that makes Hatch feel.
Yeah,
Hatch is one of the guys though that really promote. He'll tell you right in front of everybody, y'all got the best game day experience of anybody.
Yeah, well, he said that. He said that. I mean,
he says that all over the place, man. He loves to come play here. He just says it's a great atmosphere. You know?
He's had some success.
Football.
He's had some success between his time at Georgia Southern. I think he was part of that one of those big comeback wins they had a couple years ago at Georgia Southern against us at our home field. But again, talk to the fans, Coach. Obviously, an opportunity, family weekend, looking to have a big crowd coming back for that one. And again, it takes a village to win, and I think we got to have a team, but we got to have them in it for 4 quarters as well. I think that at times in that last ball game, at least I felt from the booth that we weren't into the game, that it was just kind of watching and just seeing how things were going to fall, not into the game and not influencing the game. So I'd like to see us get that going this weekend.
Well, yeah, they can make a difference, that's for sure. And our students got a chance to speak to them before the run that they had, you know, and the freshman run, so I got a chance to speak to them. I said, listen, this ain't just a one-time deal now. I want you to get up in the stands. Win or lose, I want you to give us support. You know, we got to dominate home field, though. We've already lost 2, man. It's discouraging. We're upset because we shouldn't lose here at home with our support. But, listen, we're going to start this week, and I'm telling you, start the conference. Everybody that's a Catamount ought to be here because this starts the conference. Whatever we do from here on out still decide our season. Right. It still decide if we're champions of this league. It still decide if we go to the playoffs. And them 3 games will be people won't never remember that.
Yep.
So, man, these 9 games are important, and we got to start this Saturday with a big one in front of our home crowd with a great support. And let's go get this thing done and get on a roll, get that confidence. Got Tiger back, man. Let's go get this thing done.
All right, that's the words of the coach, and he's issuing a challenge to our fan base.
Challenging
be out there. Yeah, be out there and be loud. You've doubled
down.
Y'all
do push-ups if y'all don't come.
Either way, we slice.
We'll get y'all doing push-ups. Y'all don't show up.
Oh, we'll do push-ups every time we score. How about that? And that'll be good enough. That'll be momentum.
There you go.
Get them going. But again, looking forward to it. Again, you only get 6 home Saturdays a year, You wait all off season long to get back to Catamount Country to be here in Cullowhee. So we have the 6 home games. Let's be here for the 6 home games. Looking forward to that. Again, family weekend coming up. 2:30 kickoff at E.J. Whitmire Stadium, Bob Waters Field. We'll have the 10 things you need to know before you go. That'll be coming up later on this week. Get the preview stories going, and we'll have everybody ready to go. 1:30 airtime on the Catamount Sports Network. Our ESPN student-led crew will also have the ESPN Plus broadcast. Our students will be ready to go for that, and we hope you're ready as well. Be in Cullowhee this weekend. Catamounts and the Bulldogs, age-old rivalry, cat versus dog. Looking forward to it here on Saturday. For the coach and our entire crew, I'm Daniel Hooker, live from Catamount Jaxe, saying have a great rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in to Catamount Football Weekly, presented by Stanberry Insurance.